And we're live.
Hey everyone, it's the Winston Boys. Alex,
Oh, and Kush.
there we go.
All right. That
Delivering.
didn't work.
Okay, we'll restart. We'll restart.
It's no,
Remember,
it's all right. It's all right. Let's
Alex.
just keep it going.
We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll
We
with it.
got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Delivering discussion, commentary, and fun every Saturday night, and professional intros.
Yeah.
Uh,
Very professional.
very professional. Um, yeah. So today we're gonna do like a Well, first of all, I think we want to talk about the New Year stuff. Kush, how was your New Year?
It was pretty good. Um, I mean, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, kind of pretty generic New Year. I mean, what about you?
It was pretty normal. Um, my girlfriend came over and we watched the ball drop, and that was about it. Not a lot else going on. Of course, got to follow all the guidelines and everything. And although I've got to say two things about the ceremony this year. For one, I know that they were following all the COVID protocols, and I really appreciate that. But like, it was still really shocking to see like no massive like crowd of people in Times Square and everything for the ball dropping, and it just seemed like it was really lame. I don't know. Like I'm not like calling anyone out. Like I understand why they did it that way, but man, like it was like, wow, this is like
Yeah.
shockingly lame. I was just kind of, you know, I expected that, but at the same time, it was a little bit disheartening. Um, but on to better things.
Yeah. Actually,
Good.
I did have a comment really quick on what
Yeah.
you were saying. Did you see the were you so did you watch the CNN like stream or whatever of New
I don't
Year?
know. We only watched it for like the last 20 minutes because we tried to tune in earlier and it was still lame. We left. It's like,
Really?
go watch what are we watching? We're watching Criminal Minds. That's what it was. It's a good show. It's like
Hmm.
a psychological, um, like like people like making psychological profiles of criminals and stuff, and like tracking them down like that. Like, this guy's like psychopath and like enjoys hurting people, so we're gonna find someone who likes that, right? And, like,
Hmm.
then they like solve the murder like that. It's kind of fun. Um, but yeah, so we were watching that instead of the stream until like the last few minutes.
Oh,
I don't know which one we were on, honestly. But
yeah. I was gonna say I so say same as you. Like I think I only watched like the last like 15 minutes of it, but I
yeah.
remember like we were like flipping between like a bunch of them. Like this time, like we were flipping between CNN. I
Excuse
think
me. Yeah.
NBC. Oh, bless you. I think NBC is the main one. I don't know which other one. Like we flipped through like a few of them that were going on, but
Mhm.
I can't remember what the guy's name is. But there was the one guy who was with Anderson Cooper, who was just
Mhm.
like absolutely hammered, like on the news. Like I saw a clip of him on TikTok today where he's like talking to Anderson Cooper like on the air. He's like, "Hey man, after this, we're gonna go back to my place, and I'm gonna give you the best munchies you've ever had. We're just gonna go back to my place." And then Anderson Cooper's just like dying laughing on the news, and this guy's just really like, and he's like the co-anchor of like this whole thing. It was. I think I saved the clip. Here, let me see.
That's
Let
really
me see
funny.
if I
Yeah,
can.
I've always noticed that they kind of tend to cut loose on New Year's Eve. Everyone gets a
Yeah.
little on the news gets a little bit, I don't know. Oftentimes they'll have a drink in their hand or something, like while they're at the party. Kind of funny.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't have it saved, but it was
It's
yeah.
funny.
It's like you're saying, like they were just drunk.
Um, I can't remember her name, but the artist who performed John Lennon's "Imagine" was really good. Like the lighting was really weird. She was all blue. Like I don't know why they had all the stage lights were blue, and it made her look sick or something. She looked really weird. But like just because like the backlight, I don't know, it was just like not a flattering color. But like the music was like on point. I was like, damn, that was like a good rendition. I don't know. I just normally like whoever performs there, I like don't really like their music. I don't know, like can't recall who else performed, but like normally I'm like or like but that was like I don't know. I thought that was on point. That was cool.
Yeah. I mean, with like a music background and stuff, do you feel like when you watch like a performance like that, you like listen to it differently? Like, are you like judging it when you watch it, or do you just kind of like listen to it
Um,
for fun?
so for all our viewers, I both my parents are have their masters in music. My dad has a master's in operatic performance, and my mom has a master's in piano performance. So I've grown up with a lot of music. I'm not personally, I don't have much musical talent. My sister got it all. I'm okay. I played when I was younger and stuff, but I'm a physics major now. So I do, I think, listen to it differently than most people just because I really like classical music. Like I just listen to classical music like when I'm relaxing or like when and I know a lot of stuff like that. But I don't think that it really affects. I think that's more my sister. Like my sister will like know what key they're in and stuff, and like when they change keys or whatever, and like what chord progressions they're using, what mode. I don't even know what that means, but like some sort of harmonic mode or something. I'm probably using the wrong term. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, it sounds good. Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay.
No, maybe I probably have different tastes than most people. But that just might be me. Weird.
Hmm.
But I'm really into the melody, I guess. Like if it has like if I like the tune of the song, then I really like the song. Um, but yeah, I'm probably pretty typical with like how I listen to it, as far as that goes.
Hmm. I was just wondering.
I hate it when people are off pitch. It's the one thing I hate it.
Hmm.
Some singers just like sing off pitch a lot, and I'm like, oh my god, just stop singing, dude. Just stop. Either go up like that half step or just stop. It's
Yeah.
really annoying. But no, that lady was good. I wish I knew her name because I was gonna look her
Yeah.
up and then I forgot. Um, but yeah. So anyway, we were gonna talk about what was it? Yeah. So Google just got sued on Tuesday, right? If people haven't heard, the U.S. government has accused Google of violating antitrust suits and has sued them, which is kind of wild because that's the first, not really the first, but it's like one of the few major challenges to Google's total market supremacy on the search engine front, right? And let's Google that figure real quick. Right? What is it? Google market share of search. 86.86% in July 2020. So, Sugar, what is your opinion? What constitutes a monopoly, right? I know you're kind of the business guy in the duo here. What do you think? At what point do you become a monopoly, right? What would you say the criteria are?
Yeah. Well, actually, hold on. I'm gonna preface this really quick because on TikTok we have a post that's got about 8,500 something views now, and there was like an all-out war going on in the comments.
Whoa, dude,
Well,
we're famous. Holy
yeah.
cow.
So there
Um,
was there was like an all out war going on in the comments last time between people who thought we were giving tax advice and people who thought we were giving bad tax advice and people who thought we were giving good tax advice. And I just made sure to leave a comment to say we aren't giving any tax advice. My
please
name
don't.
isn't. So someone thought that like the video, like when we talked about like Robert Kiyosaki, someone thought that was me. And so like I just left the comments there saying like, hey, look, we're not experts, we're not giving tax advice. And so I know
we're
we
just
we
having
have
a talk, dude.
yeah, I know I don't think it was either of our viewers, but I know that recently we've gotten our first two non-family member subscribers. So I won't say your
Yeah,
guys'
there we
names because I don't know if you want to be on YouTube or not, but
go.
just for anyone who doesn't know us, I'm just gonna preface this with like I'm 20 years old. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm here to learn. So please don't get mad at me. But but yeah, I mean like so I guess like when it comes to like the that whole like political topic of like monopolies, like I really honestly I don't know anything about them. So like I'm coming from like a eighth grade, maybe combining in like AP US history point of view from like 11th grade. But I mean, yeah, like so I guess are you talking about like a monopoly on like just from like the search engine standpoint?
Yeah, so I mean, I think that the search engine market can pretty effectively be considered as its own market, right? I don't think that you know, I don't think it needs to be mixed in with like Gmail or anything. So or email. See, I said Gmail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of reinforces the point there, and I did not mean to do that. But no, seriously, I think that just assessing the search engine market as like a massive market, like multi-billion-dollar industry that is incredibly important, maybe even essential to, you know, millions of jobs, right? I mean, I think a lot of things, like if all of a sudden the internet search engines shut down, right? Like permanently, like how would I even like figure stuff out, right? Like, I mean, I have to like go to the library, I guess, and like, you know, ask the librarian where like, you know, that book was, and like learn the Dewey library system to find stuff faster, right? Like, I don't know how to work those stupid decimals, right? Like, I always go to the front desk and ask, like, I don't, my life would melt down, right? Like, I have no idea. You couldn't just Google search stuff. So,
Yeah.
you know, like, it sounds really stupid, but like, and especially in a COVID era, right? It's an incredibly important service. It's like the knowledge supply line, right? So to speak, that our society has become very reliant on. And one corporation controls 87% of it, right?
Yeah.
So analyzing it like that, right? I mean, maybe it's not a certain percent. Maybe it's like, you know, how dominant in the market is it? But like, you know, I just kind of, what would you say, like in general, right? In any given market, what would you say? Okay, well, this is the point at which, you know, not in Google's case per se, but let's just say, you know, for the oil market, like Standard Oil in the 1920s, right? At what point do you say, okay, guys, you know, you control too much of the market, you know, you need to stop. We're going to break you up. At what point is too much, right? Does that make sense? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. No, I think so. So I get what you're saying. So I mean, like I'm not saying this to like like I'm not saying this to like say monopolies are good or bad or they need to be there. Don't like obviously I mean it seems like everyone agrees that monopolies aren't good. And I'm certainly not an expert on like the political intricacies of like what is should be considered a monopoly or not. But like specifically like on Google having like the bigger market share of searches, like I guess the first like question that comes to mind is just like I mean today in terms of like major search engines where like you want to be as an advertiser, like there's three that like I can think of off the top of my head. Like what one is Google. The other ones are Yahoo search and Bing search. And the reason that they're relevant is because there's still like millions of people that use them, just less than Google. So you can rank high and still like it's less competitive and you can still have access to a lot of people in there as an advertiser. So that's why those are still attractive. But I mean, just as like an everyday consumer, right? Like every single time you want to know something on the internet, you have three options. You have the option of Google search, Yahoo search, Bing search, or if you want a search engine, for example, that doesn't collect any data about you or anything like that, you can use DuckDuckGo, which is it's actually a pretty big search engine now.
Yeah,
So I
I've used
mean,
them
like,
before.
yeah.
Decent.
So like given all those options, right? Like which one, I mean, just personally, like which one do you use almost every time?
I use Google. I used DuckDuckGo for a while. The problem is with DuckDuckGo is it won't find stuff. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be mean to Go. Um, and I'm saying this with all, I really respect what they're trying to do there. I really like their mission statement. I really want to use them, right? I like their thing, like they're not going to like store my stuff. Like that's way better. But they just suck. Like I can't find anything.
Yeah.
So unless I'm like going to a different site or like I know exactly what I'm trying to find and I can put in like exact keywords that are going to be like, you know, really kind of hand it to DuckDuckGo. I mean, I used it for almost a year. Like I used it most of sophomore year. And so I don't know, I'm kind of an experienced critic of DuckDuckGo, one would say. But as much as I tried, like after a few months, I just phased it into like my non-essential searches, right? Like if because unless I'm navigating to a major page, right? If I was like trying to look up some sort of like weird chemical interaction or something for a class, like it would never find it, right? Or a formula, like it would like unless it was like a specific name, right? But if I type in like formula for let me think. Formula for curvature of lens focal point, right? Into Google, it'll find the lens maker's formula for me, right? But if I can't remember the lens maker's formula, right, like, then I'm not going to find it on DuckDuckGo because if I type that into DuckDuckGo, I'm going to get nonsense, right? And that's kind
Yeah.
of difference. Google's just like kind of figure out what you want to say, and DuckDuckGo searches for only exactly exactly what you put in, right? It's like too little. I don't know, but it's not bad for basic stuff. It's just like I don't know.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm saying is like right now, like everyone has like a choice of what search engine to use.
Yeah,
And so like I like I'll okay, so I'll kind of just directly say what I'm trying to say. Like personally, like even when I have like that choice of all these search engines, like I always use Google and I even always use Google in Chrome. And it's just because like I mean this is an opinion and like I get we're all consumers, we should be comparing products. We shouldn't just like have brand loyalty, but like personally, like I just feel like Google is like by far the superior search engine, and I feel like Chrome is by far the superior browser. I mean, like the thing is like when I'm doing stuff, like for example with like Google, like I can be trying to figure something out, like you're talking about like formulas for class or like whatever, and like I can just type in some like disjointed like words related to the thing I'm trying to figure out, and then Google like not only find what I want to know. Like it'll figure out the question that I'm trying to ask that I can't even articulate, and then it'll go find the answer to that question. And I feel like no other search engine that I've used can do that. And then there's also like the other features too. Like with Chrome, like I sign into my accounts, and then through Chrome, like I can sign into like a bunch of different like other accounts that I have. Like I can like on different websites now, like they have like the sign in with Google option. So like I just
yeah,
make my Google account. It knows everything about me, like what I want to see, what
yeah.
I don't want to see. It shows me that. I can use it to sign into accounts. I can if I'm like let's say like I look up a recipe on my laptop and then I want to go to the kitchen and make it. I can right click on the tab, say send to phone, then it pops up on my phone and I can go to the kitchen. I mean, it's just it's
Yeah.
so like
No, I understand.
it does everything, you know?
It does. It does. It really does everything. And I am objecting as a certified Google addict who Googles everything. I actually do use Firefox, so take that, Google. Not that they really
Hmm.
benefit from Chrome. I just like Firefox. I don't know. Like it's not really a specific thing. I think I would switch to Firefox when I started trying to use DuckDuckGo, and I just never switched back because I kind of like
Hmm.
I don't know. I just like the layout more. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the thing I love about it, and that's also the thing I'm objecting to, right? Which is like that's the thing I don't like because yeah, if I um looks or if I receive an email about a certain type of something, right? Or if I Google something that's like you know um, running shoe wear, okay, because I'm not sure if I should keep wearing the same shoes and I don't want to get injured, right? I run all the time. So I type in running shoe wear to see if my shoes are worn out. And then for the next 2 weeks, all I get are running shoe ads, right? And it's like, come on, guys. But it's much more serious than that. Like, that's annoying, right? And of course, I've gotten creepy ads before, right? Or like I'm Googling something for like a class, right? Like I Googled schizophrenia a few times and I got like all sorts of like schizophrenia meds and like other like mental disorder meds, right? Because I was in a biopsychology class, right? I was Googling those sorts of things. I've gotten some really weird stuff because I've Googled stuff for my research at Wake that's like random parts of the brain and like anyway, that's annoying, right? Whatever. But I think it can get more sinister than that too. Because just in having a place that everything you ever look up or like everything you ever do is stored, right? So let's say, for instance, that in 10 years, right, there's I don't know, some sort of dictator, okay? Julius Caesar comes back from the dead and takes over America, okay? By via an election, I don't know, or however, okay? However you want to imagine it happens. And then let's say in 2018, I posted something. In 2018, I did post something about the ban on immigration from, it might have been 2017, from Muslim countries. Right after the Trump instituted, right after he got into office, he introduced like a blanket ban on a bunch of predominantly Muslim countries. And I posted something about how I didn't agree with it. So whatever, I was just expressing my opinion, right, in 2017. Now we're 2030, and the dictator's looking back through, and maybe he liked that ban, right? And he decides, okay, well, this guy's going to I don't know, wherever, the gulag in Alaska. Okay. I don't know. Like, it just seems creepy that it seems like a bad idea. It seems like that wields immense power. Be able to look at anything I've ever done from the age of whenever I got my Instagram account, 14 onward, right? I've done a lot of stupid things. Um, and I don't know. I just think that having such a permanent record is dangerous for many reasons. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, are you saying that like, so I guess is your point that like there shouldn't be any company out there that can like store data on you?
No, I think my point is that having all of that data about everything I've ever typed into Google Docs or ever uploaded to Google Docs, all my photos in Google Photos, all my searches, um, anything that's stored in the Google Cache, right? Or the Facebook Cache, whatever you use most, okay?
Hmm.
Is so readily accessible and so vulnerable, right? The Patriot Act, look at the Patriot Act, right? And I support catching terrorists. Okay, I'm not objecting to that. But there's a fine line there, right? And how do you know when you've crossed it? Because if the government goes to Google and says, hey, look, we suspect Alexander Marshall of terrorist activities for some reason, okay, and they, good. I hope, if someone blows up a building, not me, I wouldn't do that, but, if someone blows up a building, I want them to go to Google and I want Google to spill the beans on them, right? But let's say it's for not a good reason. Let's say that the government in the dystopian government of 2030 thinks I'm, um, I had dissenting opinions in the past or something, right? Or I'm not complying with their regime. There are, maybe a million people aren't complying with their regime and they want to know who, right? So they go into Google and they say, okay, Google, well, let's look at all these people who have Googled things about, I don't know, ideas they don't support. Maybe, I don't know, what would a government not like? People who have logged too many hours on Wikipedia, okay? I don't know. People have Googled Wikipedia more than 500 times, okay? I have no idea. Definitely done that. But just some stupid metric. It doesn't matter. Um, or someone who posted something they don't agree with, right? 20 years ago. Like, it's still there. And they can deduce, right, what you believed in the past. Um, I don't know. It just seems like it's objectionable to me to have such a comprehensive database of billions of people's like semi-private thoughts and feelings, right? I mean, when I read an email, like, it's not really supposed to be, like archived and cataloged and like mined for data. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. I'm trying to like just make sure I understand like what you're like. So I see the problem you're pointing out that like there's a lot of data about you out there, and in the future it could be like misused by someone, or it could be
Right. Or in the
accessed by,
present. I mean, yeah.
yeah, like and like we don't, but like I guess what I'm trying to make sure I understand is like is there like a particular solution to that you're proposing, or are you just kind of putting out there like this is a problem that exists?
No, I'm not proposing any. I haven't.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I have no
Yeah.
proposition. I think that splitting it up into different entities would help, right? Like if Google, if I, for and this is my own personal fault, I guess, but I guess out of convenience, I would use Google Drive, right? If I had used Dropbox, right, instead of Google Drive, then at least I've kind of got two bins, right? Where like the evil dictators of the 2030 would have to, um, get access to both bins, right? To have a little picture of me. I don't know.
Mm.
It seems like having so much stored under one legal entity is just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get what
Mention
you're
payment
saying.
information. Yeah, I don't know. Not to mention payment information, right? God, imagine if Google got hacked.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that would not be good.
it wouldn't be good at all. The world
Yeah.
would end. I don't know. Not really. I'm being dramatic. Be kind of crazy. Too many eggs in one basket. That's my concern.
Yeah. I mean, I will say so yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't I mean, I can't really think of anything directly on that, but like I will say at least from like an advertiser standpoint, like I mean, I've never used Google Ads, but I can speak for Facebook ads because I've used those. And like the reason that those are so attractive is because like on Facebook's end, they like they offer you so much granularity and like trying to find audiences for products and market to them and stuff. And like the like what I mean by that is that like on Facebook ads, like when you want to start out like trying to find an audience for a product or whatever, you can like start by like trying to create audiences based on their interests. Like there's like a ton of interests you can pick from and say like we need people who are interested in dogs and coffee or whatever, and narrow an audience, and they need to be located in these countries and between these ages and stuff like that. And you start creating these audiences, and then you
Yeah.
see, where you're getting the most sales, you drill down, and then you end up with like a small audience where you're getting a lot of sales. And
Right.
then the whole like the reason Facebook ads are so attractive is because once you make 1,000 sales to that audience, like the Facebook algorithm is so good that after that, you just set your daily spend limit. Like, hey, I want to be spending $100 a day on this ad
Mm-hmm.
campaign, and it'll keep marketing to them. And then the
Hmm.
other feature, like with Facebook ads, that makes it really attractive is like you can create these things called like lookalike audiences. So I can take that successful audience and I can say, hey, Facebook, they give you an option on a scale from, I think it's like 1% to 10%. I want to create an audience that looks like this one. So I think
Right.
1% is like the most similar and 10% is the least similar, something like that.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
create these different lookalike audiences, and then the Facebook algorithm goes and works its magic on those. So like I can say at least like the whole reason like an advertiser wants to give Facebook money is because you have like that level of granularity there. And like as an advertiser, like it's not like you have access to the information of the people who you're advertising to. It's more so like Facebook knows about those people well enough that like you just tell it what you want to do and it'll go out and do that, like do whatever with the data. But like so I guess this is like a bit different than what you were saying, but I can say like at least from like an advertiser standpoint, it's not like advertisers out there going to Facebook and getting access to your data. Like they're more so telling
No, yeah, I
Facebook,
agree.
yeah,
No, I totally understand. Yeah, like I'm not. I agree that like Google's AdSense and stuff. I think their program's called AdSense, right? Or am I mistaken?
yeah, I think you're right.
Okay. So Google's AdSense program, right? I'm not necessarily objecting to that. I'm sure it's very effective, and I'm sure that they're protecting my privacy more or less, right? Um, as much as any other advertising service is going to. It's more, for me personally, the collection of that much data, right? I mean, they have everything from my elementary school. I mean, if I go through Google Drive, right, they have everything from like my elementary school papers that I wrote, right? Like the book I tried to write in seventh grade that did not, never got finished, okay? To like my latest philosophy essay, right? And it's like, I don't know, it's just, it's concerning when you read the privacy policy, you know what I mean? Um, and
Yeah.
and you think it's definitely, I don't know, there's just some weak links, and if someone starts applying legal pressure or threatens to shoot them out of it, not shoot them, but shove them out of a country, right? I don't know. I could see a lot of rules bending, right? I don't know. It just seems like a lot of power for a corporation to have, and a lot of knowledge is power, and I think that having that much data about someone just gives a lot of opportunities for, you know what I mean, for something to go wrong. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that much power in general to decide, right? I mean, what I search, right? If I search, let's say I'm a Canadian, okay, and I'm moving to the U.S. for the first time, and I've never followed U.S. politics, so I search Donald Trump, right? Well, my first impression of Donald Trump is going to be one of two very different things, right? And you know, and sure, there's some middle ground, and there's more, reason stuff, but for the most part, right? Google's not doesn't just default to showing you, this, right? I can click on left or right, right? And whatever I click on the first time, all my stuff from then on, right, is gonna be slanted more towards that side, right? Um, if I'm sure that I'm not super political, but I'm sure that if a super ardent Trump supporter, right, um, and a super ardent, very liberal person, right, they both Google Donald Trump, they're going to see different results, right? And depending on how far over you are, right? Like those results may or may not be, very moderate, right? Let's to say the least, right? Content of those results on either side, right, is going to be increasingly detached from what's going on. And I think that alone is like dangerous. I don't know. The fact that I don't know. I don't, like I said, I can't offer a solution. How do you decide what people get to see? That's a huge job for Google, right? But I think that it's a difficult dilemma to say the least, but it is a problem, right? I can point it out, but I can't solve it. I don't know.
Yeah.
What
And
are your
I
thoughts
think
on that?
I think okay, so I think I get what you're saying. And then just for the sake of the podcast, I'm gonna try and argue the opposite side,
Go for it.
just for the sake of entertainment. So I think like if I can rephrase what you're saying, like the problem with like one single company like Google having access to all of your data because of the services they've created, because like your stuff is on Google Drive and you've sent mail through Gmail and you search Google every day, like they've collected like a ton of data on you. And
They've
like,
collected me. They've literally collected like everything about my life for the past 15 years, right?
yeah, and like there should be more of a check on that than like
Right.
whatever there is now. Yeah, so okay, so I get that side. Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. And then just on and then I think there was a second point then after that about like how like having that influence what you see and stuff like that. But on the first point, just to kind of like argue the opposite side, like I feel like the other side of that too is that like Google is like a company and it's kind of like they put a product out there and it was kind of like, hey, like if you want to use this product for free, this you just have to agree to these terms because you know that this is why we're letting you use the product for free. And so it's kind of like it's their product, like that you're like uploading stuff on or using to search or like you've created an account on. So it's since it's their product, they can kind of do like I mean it's not like the government created Google and it's like a publicly
No,
like
no, it's
for
not
it's
publicly
like
funded.
it's Google's like thing,
Yeah,
you know? So like
yeah.
for them like it's their platform. We're kind of uploading stuff to their platform. We're searching through their platform. So like they kind of I mean if they need to collect data to like make money, then like I'm not really sure that like there would be like I'm not
I'm
sure
not,
like
yeah. I'm not objecting to collecting data. I'm
yeah.
objecting to collecting all the data.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I
I
continue.
see what you're saying. I feel like it's yeah, that's when it gets kind of hard like to see like yeah, I just feel like because that at that point, like it's like, what would you define as too much data? You know what I mean?
Right, right. Um, and uh, yeah, I mean, it's quite a quandary to be honest with you. And also, I mean, try not Googling stuff for a few days, right? Try getting along without it, right? I mean, for one, I have to check my email, right? My Wake Forest email account is on, it's a Gmail account, right? So it's just through at Wake Forest, whatever, at wfu.edu, right? Um, I can't not do it through Gmail because it's a Gmail account.
Hmm.
Same thing, so I have to use that literally for my work as a student, right? My profession, so to speak, right? Which is student. But
Hmm.
not only that, but I mean, just try to get through a year, right? I mean, you can probably do a few days, but try to get through a chunk of time where you have to do stuff without Google, and I guarantee you it's going to be hard. Or using any sort of Google service, right? So you said earlier, you brought up the point, well, you can use Bing or this or that or the other thing, right? Yeah, you could. But I mean, how are you going to get there? You're really going to use Microsoft Edge? I'm not using Microsoft Edge. I don't know who does. It's kind of web pages don't display right. I use Firefox. There's ways to get around it. It's just like, it's harder, right? And I don't think that the internet is a natural monopoly, right? And usually they don't say, well, I don't know. You probably know more about the legal standards of a monopoly than I do. But usually it's not an issue of necessarily not being able to access an alternative, right? Within reason. It's just that it's hard to access an alternative. And one company controls such a vast majority of the market share that, you know, it's stifling competition, if that makes sense, right? Because you end up with a huge structural advantage just by virtue of having so much of it already. Right?
Yeah. No, I agree with what you're saying. Honestly, I just feel like I don't know enough about the topic to like
Yeah.
advance it anywhere
Honestly.
from where we're at right now. Like I feel like we're at the edge of like where I can come up with stuff to say.
Yeah.
Because
No,
like I'm basically just thinking about it like logically now, not with like
yeah.
any additional
Yeah. I mean, I
expertise.
probably, to be honest with you, I probably I don't know a whole lot about it either. It's just something I've thought about a good bit over the years. And it certainly makes me uncomfortable. That's for sure. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know that I can think of a better solution to provide all the services Google provides. And I don't know if I was supreme leader or whatever. I don't know what I would do, right? Like
Yeah.
I had the power to do something about it, right? I mean, I haven't really. I just know that I don't like it. I don't like it, right? But I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll tell you, like, honestly, Google is one of those things where, like, again, I don't know too much about their whole privacy policy and all that, and that's might be just a virtue of their marketing and them not trying to be very public about it. But what I can tell you is that, like, our generation, like Gen Z, like as a whole, again, I'm not saying that everyone in Gen Z like feels this way, but on average, like I will say, like we don't give a fuck about online privacy, and I kind of fall into that category because like if you look at something like TikTok, like Google is like all right, like on Google, if I'm on Chrome and I look something up, or if I'm like browsing in Chrome and I look something up and then I get ads for it, it's like okay, I was using Chrome. Obviously, they know what I'm using and they can just feed that back into my account and advertise
Mhm.
whatever, like boost whatever ad campaign they're running for an advertiser where the product's targeted at me or the service or whatever. But what's worse than Google and what's really showed how few fucks Gen Z gives about privacy is TikTok. TikTok,
Oh yeah.
like, is not a search engine, right? I don't go to TikTok and Google this formula. I don't go to TikTok and Google physics stuff. I don't go to TikTok and Google my comp sci homework. I don't go to TikTok and Google anything about business or look up. I'm saying Google. That's how embedded their marketing, but look up anything about
I noticed
whatever.
that.
Yeah.
Now do you think it's a monopoly?
Yeah.
Because
But
we don't say we search it, we say we Google it.
yeah.
That's the
But
definition.
yeah. But
Sorry.
here's the thing with TikTok, like I'm not, oh no, like, but with TikTok, like I'm not going on there and looking anything up. But
Yeah.
TikTok knows everything about me. I mean, I'll be having a conversation with someone like out loud, like not using my phone or anything. Like my phone's just in my pocket. And then I go and I'll watch TikTok literally right after, and my whole feed will be like about what I was just talking about in person. Or I'll go like literally Google, like search something on Google again outside of the TikTok app. And then I come back to the TikTok app and like it'll like I'll see posts pop up in my feed about that thing. And so, and like the thing is like everyone who uses TikTok sees it happen. Like I see it happen. But the thing is like I just like our generation just doesn't care. Like we like I'm just like, you know what? They're collecting a bunch of data about me, but at least it makes it more entertaining because it knows what I want to watch. Like everything that pops up my feed, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's what I want to watch. Like it figured it out. Like that's exactly it.
Oh God. To be honest with you, like that's why I haven't made a TikTok yet. Like I don't have a TikTok, and I don't think I'm gonna
Yeah.
make an account because from when I heard like there was a bunch of controversy over whether it was like spying for China. Now I don't really know much about that whole thing, but like for one, the fact that there's a controversy about that, and you know, I've got nothing against China. I do not trust their government. I
Yeah.
trust the government about as far as I can throw it, which is not very far because it's really big. So you know, I don't trust it at all. And so anytime there's like a is China doing X or is China doing Y, I usually assume, they're probably doing it, and
Yeah.
usually good enough to make a question of whether they're doing it, right? And they say they're not doing it. And then, I don't know. Anyway, I'm a little bit cynical about that. But that and just, I don't know. I remember when my girlfriend first got it and she was going through it and like the whole 10-second format didn't really, I don't know, it didn't really appeal to me. It was like a meme in motion or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a boomer. I'm kind of a
No,
boomer.
it's like Vine. Like they did the same thing with Vine, where it's like
Yeah, it's
it's
fine.
the yeah, it's designed so that like I mean you can post up to a 60-second video, but it's designed so that like it encourages you to post a video that's like maybe about 15 seconds long, so that like once someone's attention span is up, they can just scroll to the next one and
Right.
then keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
So pretty much like Vine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I have fond memories of Vine. I don't know. I just feel like maybe at this point in my life, if I install Vine, I won't get anything done. Or, Vine
Yeah.
2.0 or TikTok. Um,
Yeah.
in other news, I'm currently eating Tic Tac.
Yeah.
I
With
think it's
the
funny because it. There you go. There you go. I'm just a poet over here. I just thought it was funny because I
yeah.
noticed I was eating Tic Tacs, and we're talking about TikToks.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Well,
but
anyway, yeah, I think I'm sure it's a very interesting social media platform. I just think that if I install one more social media platform, I really won't finish my homework ever.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's the other thing I wanted to bring up as I was looking at our outline up here. Yeah. So I mean, we don't have to really imagine about 2030 dystopian USA, right? We can just look over in China, right, where people will do streaming or something, and they'll be like streaming. There was a guy I remember when the coronavirus broke out, and the Chinese government was suppressing the news about it. And there was this guy who was like reporting on it and going and like doing cell phone videos and streaming it and stuff. And he was streaming one day in his apartment, and the police broke in and dragged him out on stream. And it was like a bunch of news coverage about it, but it was like really bad. And um, you know, I think that clearly, right, that was, I'm sure the guy was trying not to be recognized, right, and trying not to, I'm sure it was, like it was probably through a third party service. I'm sure he wasn't just posting it on like, the Communist Party of China or whatever their name is. He wasn't posting it on their website, right, so they could track him, right? He was posting it on whatever the third party content creator, Baidu or Baidu, right? That's the
No
Chinese.
idea.
I'm pretty sure it's Baidu. Baidu is their main search engine, and I think they have their own version of YouTube and stuff. I don't know that they can access Google. I don't know. Anyway, I don't think Google's in China. I have no idea. I don't think it is. But the point is, I think it's interesting that the internet, right, which is supposed to be such an expression of freedom, right, and in a way to really subvert the government, and it has been in many cases. I mean, look at the Arab Spring, look at a lot of other social justice movements that have kind of originated on social media, right? And at the same time, in the hands of an oppressive government, if you do something against them, right, their algorithm's going to find you, right, if you post about it online. So I don't know. Just kind of funny.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. I agree that there's definitely a problem there. I don't I feel like we're past the extent of what I know. So
Oh
like I
yeah,
feel like
absolutely.
I have nothing productive to say about that.
Yeah, for sure. No, I don't either. I don't know. I think it's sometimes I just like to say I think there's a problem here. But, um, I have no authority on the matter. That's for sure. I'm a, for those of you who don't know me, I'm a physics and philosophy major, and the philosophers oftentimes will sit around and think about things. One of the most famous philosophers is Socrates, and Socrates would walk around and ask everyone what they thought. So I'd be like, if I were Socrates, I'd be like, hey, Kushagra, what do you think of friendship? And then Kushagra would tell me, well, I think friendship is blah, blah, blah. And then I would say, well, I think you're wrong. And then I'd explain to him why he was wrong. And then he'd be like, yeah, you're right. And then be like, God, you're such an idiot. And and he'd be like, well, what do you think of friendship like that? I don't know. I'm not the idiot who thought I knew. And that was like basically the founder of Western philosophy. And he definitely, like, the government had him executed because they didn't like him.
Hmm.
So that's just, I think it's kind of funny that that's like the founder of my secondary major there. So
Yeah. I didn't even know that he was like the founder of philosophy or like the
he's kind
study.
of, yeah, he's kind of considered like the founder of Western philosophy, at least. I don't know.
Hmm.
We're kind of the Wake Forest program at least doesn't really cover a lot of Eastern philosophy, unfortunately, which there's plenty of Western philosophy to cover, so I'm not complaining. But I just don't know about much about the other branches. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny because I don't know. I think a lot of modern philosophers kind of do the same thing. With like, there's clearly a problem here with what you think, and then when you ask them, well, solve the problem. What do you think it is? I don't know. I'm not the idiot who put it together. I'm just saying you're
Yeah.
wrong. Right? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I will say though on a sorry, this is a bit different, but like on a related
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
topic to what we were talking about with the tech companies, like one thing that I think is I mean, I used to play into this too, but I I just it feels so stupid now, is like the argument between like Android and iPhone, like where people will argue which one's better. Like I literally like I sit there now and I listen to these arguments. I'm just like one side will be calling the other one like broke or stupid. The other side will be calling the other side like, oh, you're misinformed, you're this, that. And like again, I used to play into it too, but like at the end of the day, all these companies just want $1,000 from you every year. Like you should be scrutinizing the companies. Like you should be going and telling Apple, like, hey, like why like give us the rest of the features and go tell Samsung, hey, make the
Yeah,
phone not laggy. Like what are you doing? Like
yeah,
why are we arguing each other over or arguing with each other over companies that just want $1,000 from us every year? Like it's
yeah.
it's
I
so
agree.
wild. And it's I mean, sorry. I was gonna say like that's just all because of their marketing. Like that's how that's just it's like we just totally played into it. Anyway, I was just gonna throw that out there. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, no, you're good, and I'm down for this conversation. Um, First of all, I am a loyal and lifelong Android user, but I'm really thinking about getting an iPhone because my mom got one, and she honestly really likes it. And she's had it for like 3 years, which I've never had a phone in the last 3 years, but that might just be me. I have a tendency to drop in and break them, really clumsy. Um, but um, so I was thinking because they came out with they have like the $400 one now, right? And I'm like, I will never spend more than 400 bucks on a phone again because I know I will break the $800 phones just as fast as I'll break the $300 phones. Okay, it's not a quality problem. You know what I mean? It's like they just all wear out at a certain point. I don't know if it's me or the phone, but they all wear out the same speed. You know, so I don't know. I used to get really excited and like want the best one, and like a couple of phones ago, I was like, I could like go for the $800 one, but why would I? I'm just gonna buy this $200 piece of shit, and as long as it calls people, I'm happy. I don't know.
Yeah.
It needs to have a decent camera. That's the biggest thing. But like, I used to worry about the processor speed. Now I'm like, whatever, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I like having like the latest thing every 2, 3 years. Like it's kind of nice. I mean like I mean it just sucks like to like when my phone starts getting old and starts getting like laggy or whatever, like I just I don't know. I mean, this is like a really first world problem. I'm saying it out loud. Like you don't really need the newest thing at all. But
Yeah,
like I mean just I just like having like the newest one whenever I get it. But I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Like honestly, like this like uh I've had two like Samsung Galaxy phones and one Samsung Note phone. So I mean that's just what I've used in the past. But yeah, I mean this time like I'm waiting to see like all the new releases come out. I didn't actually follow the iPhone release that just I think there was one in September or something. Or no, sorry, that was just the iPhone 12. Yeah, I saw that. Like that's the one where like I really like the camera. Like have you
mm.
seen the videos from that? It looks really professional.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't even know
Yeah.
we were on iPhone 12, dude. I have no idea. I stopped paying attention. I know there was an iPhone X, and after that, I have no idea what we're on.
Yeah, iPhone X was when we were seniors.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that honestly makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know like that was about the time I stopped paying attention because like I remember I was paying attention to graphics cards at the time because I wanted to buy a graphics card for my desktop and I did, and that was totally worth it. And I just like kind of shut myself off from tech after that because I got a new laptop, I got a new graphics card, I got a new phone. I was like, okay, I'm never buying anything tech related for like another like 5 years. So like except for when my phone breaks, and now I'm just not going to pay attention. I don't know. Yeah. Um, I don't know. Who do you think is making the better product right now, just on a personal level? I don't know. I haven't been following it all. But
Yeah.
curious.
I mean, again, I'm not like an
You're the comp sci
expert,
guy.
but yeah, I mean,
Give
if you
your
watch,
non-expert opinion, Kush. I want your non-expert opinion.
yeah, but if you watch any of these like tech YouTubers, they all say about the same thing at this point. Like all of these flagship phones are at about the same level. It really just boils down to preferences and marketing and stuff like that and what you want. I think there's like the one factor that I think that there is to look at when it comes to like Apple versus Android or whatever is like this whole idea. Like I know, I mean, I just learned this from like a Marques Brownlee video where like he talks about like this notion of how like Apple is trying to build like a walled garden, whereas like the opposite end of the spectrum, like Google is trying to build like a totally unwalled garden. And like
Mm.
the what that means, I mean, it's kind of it's what it sounds like connotatively. It's kind of like with Apple, like they've created this ecosystem of products like the Mac, the Apple Watch, the iPhone, the Apple Pencil, the iPad, all this stuff. And when you use it all
The
together,
Apple
there's a
Pencil?
yeah, and yeah, for
What's the
the
Apple Pencil?
iPad, it's for the iPad.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
like a
Got
style,
it.
yeah. And then the AirPods and stuff. And like when you use them together, like they work perfectly smoothly. I mean, like with a pair of AirPods, like to have them sync up or whatever, like I'm pretty sure you just bring them close to the phone or something. And then like I know like when people just open up their case, like an animation will pop up on their phone immediately, like no lag, no nothing. And so like
Wow.
I know all these products work really smoothly together. Like I can be texting like on iPhone, you can be texting someone on your phone and then just continue the conversation on your laptop and
Hmm.
stuff like that. And so like Apple products, like when you're just using Apple products, they all work extremely well together. But like the flip side of that is that when you try to bring in a product from outside of that ecosystem, that like maybe that you try to bring in a Samsung watch or something, like it's not going to work well at all. Like you're going to have lots
Yeah.
and lots of problems and you're not going to be able to use the full functionality. And
Hang on.
kind
Someone's
of,
playing. Hold up. I don't know what
are you
that
getting the
was.
facts?
No, someone seems to be connected with a Bluetooth speaker. I'm just gonna go turn it off in case.
All right.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I guess I'll keep talking while this is going on. Um, oh wait, he doesn't have his headphones on. We might cut this part out. We'll see. Might leave it in because oh, okay. We're probably gonna have to cut it out.
Ah, yeah. Well, my
All
mom
right.
and dad were wondering why their audio wasn't working.
No, that's fine.
It wasn't here.
Any,
Okay,
well,
sorry about
like
that.
no, that's cool. So I guess what I was saying is that like the Apple products will work really well together, but then you try to bring something in from the outside, it won't work really well together. And it kind of it works like on like a spectrum, right? Like so I'd say Apple is probably one end of the spectrum, and the total opposite end of the spectrum is like Google. So like Google with like their whole ecosystem of like Gmail and Chrome and like all that kind of stuff and the Pixel and like all this stuff they put out, they're trying to build like a like the opposite of that walled garden. Like they're trying to build like an open garden where like if I want to be using Chrome or whatever on an iPhone, I can do that, right? Like I can install
Yeah,
Chrome on my Dell laptop. I mean, I don't have a Dell laptop. I'm assuming you can do this on a Dell laptop, but I could
it
like
works
in
fine for me.
theory.
I've got a Dell laptop.
Okay, yeah. So I can install Dell on I can install Chrome on my Dell laptop, and like let's say I'm looking at a recipe on Chrome on my Dell laptop, I can hit send to iPhone, and then it'll pop up on the Chrome app and on my iPhone, and it'll work seamlessly. That so like I'd say the like when it comes to like these tech companies, like I think they're all put like all their flagship devices and products and stuff are all at about the same level. It's just like they're trying to do different things with them. And it really just comes down to like personal preferences and stuff. Like if you want to commit to Apple, then like I mean Apple's like fantastic. Like what they've built is great. That's why everyone, I mean that's why so many people buy it. But like if you're someone who doesn't really want to commit to just like one brand or one company or one suite of products, then like maybe going with something closer to Google is more for
Right.
you. And if you're just
Yeah.
someone who like you really love the Samsung Galaxy products or you really love like Huawei or whatever, like just one of these companies that's in the middle, then like you can go with those and try to mix and match as much as they'll let you on it. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think most of those things are. I don't know. I've owned a Samsung and I've owned a No, I currently have a Pixel 11, the Google Nexus 2, and they're all pretty like I don't know. They work well with everything. I've worked with like everything I've paired them with. And everything. So it's not like Apple levels. Because I remember my sister got an iPod when she was a little like younger, and that thing was the biggest pain in the butt to like connect to anything. Like it's just
Yeah.
a glorified USB that plays music. It was like a nano or whatever, right? Like it didn't really have a screen. And like
Yeah.
you had to like download a bunch of software and it was just,
I've got like a where is it at? I've got an iPad 2 over here in case anyone.
mhm.
You remember this from middle school? I feel like you would remember this.
Didn't we play like Clash of Clans in there or something back in the day?
Yeah. No, no,
Oh,
that was on our phones. But I remember I
okay.
brought this to middle school every day. So I
No,
have all the
we
old.
used to play something on there. I don't know. We did something on there. I can't remember. No, I remember.
Yeah, and then I have the Nano. It's somewhere over here. Anyway, sorry, I'm listening to what you're saying also.
Dude, all I remember from middle school is me and Cole would like brag about who had the better Clash of Clans account, and you were just off in the corner like having a really shitty one and not giving a crap. and I kind of
Yeah,
for it. Like you just didn't like get into that whole phase. And for like a couple years, I just played like wasted like 2 hours a day on Clash of Clans and like played
yeah,
class. Oh god, dude, those are some wild days.
I remember that. But I was gonna say, so this is the
There you go.
iPod Nano. This was like 2008. That's
Wow,
when this came. So this is like 12
vintage.
years old. Yeah,
Wow,
and
does
then
it
I
still
have
work? No way, it works, right? Does it work?
I mean, it's the old charger. I don't know where it is. But
Okay.
then I also have the iPod Touch 2. This is like 2009 or 2010 or something. So like these are like the old Apple. This is like when Steve Jobs was still around. I just thought I'd
Yeah, yeah.
show off these
Wild,
artifacts.
wild. Look at that. Yeah, hey, that belongs in a museum. I'm gonna get Indiana Jones to come get you.
Yeah.
Uh, so when did you make the transition to Apple product user, or not Apple, from Apple product user to Google product user? Because I know you said you went to the Samsung at some point.
Yeah, I mean so like
Can't remember when.
yeah, again, like when I was like really young, I think so Apple has the best marketing, right? And when you're really young, you just I mean you literally I mean not just when you're young, like you can at any age you can cave into marketing, but at that point like Apple had the best marketing and so it made their products seem like they are objectively the best products. And so like obviously like when I was like younger, like in elementary school, middle school and stuff, I'd look at an iPod and be like, yeah, that's obviously that's way better than any MP3 player out there, right? Or you look
Right.
like when the touchscreen iPods came out, it's like, what do you even compare like an iPod Touch to? Like, there's nothing to compare
yeah,
it
that's
to.
true. That's true. There's
Yeah,
nothing
and
really out there at that point like that.
yeah, and I remember like when I was and again like this is what I'm saying like I feel like now like having been a part of this whole like brand loyalty thing like I've just kind of recently realized how stupid it is. But I'd say like probably in eighth grade when I was going to get my first smartphone, it was coming down to between like I can't remember what iPhone was out then. I think it was like the 4S or something, like the or it was the iPhone 5. I can't remember, but it was
Yeah.
between yeah, it was the iPhone 5 because remember the iPhone 5C was out then. So I think it was
hmm
between the iPhone 5 and then the Galaxy S4. And so like I remember at that time, like I was 13. Yeah, I was 13 and I had just become like a total like expert on both the phones and like just could like list off like all the statistics and like
You
on
do. I
paper,
respect. No, I got you.
yeah. And so like I remember like, you know, then like it was just kind of be like I think it was primarily just like one trying to be cool and just have a different thing. Like I think that's what the Samsung marketing plays into a
Mhm.
lot. Like the Apple
Yeah.
marketing is more like, hey, you're a cool guy. You use the cool guy products with all the trendy music and all that kind of stuff. And then the Samsung marketing is like, hey, you're a cool guy. You think different. And then they play into like that side. And so like obviously then at that point just kind of played into Samsung marketing and stuck with it. And then they design the marketing in a way that you kind of like pick a side and argue that side, even though in reality, it's just two companies that want $1,000 from you. Like,
Right.
you know, you should be scrutinizing the companies, not you know
Yeah.
picking a side. But yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
again, I think to answer your question, it was literally just like playing into a different, kind of marketing. And then, I mean, as time has gone on, like I've cared less and less. Like I got an S9 my freshman year of college. But at that point, like I remember like I only shopped for phones for like maybe a couple weeks. And I was like, I think at that point, it wasn't even as much marketing, even though marketing definitely played a part in it. It was more so just like, hey, I have like a bunch of Samsung stuff already. Like, I don't feel like, losing all this shit on my Samsung account and like not being able to use my Samsung watch. I just
Right.
get another Samsung,
That
you
makes
know.
sense. Yeah, totally.
What about you? You went totally off the grid, right? You switched to like OnePlus.
Yeah, I would did is one plus that far off? Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that like um every year when I need a new phone, not every year, but whenever I like every couple of years, I guess. Pretty much like I tell my dad, okay, well, my phone's not doing so well. And he's like, yeah, okay, I'll look around. And then he's like, okay, well, this is the one here. This is a pretty decent phone. It's like, I don't know, we usually shoot for like 200 to 400 bucks. You know what I mean? I just feel like at this point, like I said, they break in the same amount of time, no matter how much it costs for me. Like, I think maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe just the probability, like after 2 years, I've definitely dropped it hard enough that I've broken something. I don't know. But like, I don't know. I just every year I kind of like reassess the market, and I usually look up. I like Wirecutter. Have you ever been on there? It's like the New York Times reviews, and they like rank all this stuff. It's really nice. I don't know. They have like a side by side comparison, and then I just like usually pick whatever they have ranked best. I don't really do a lot of research at this point. I'm kind of with you.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of products either, which is nice. The only thing I like, the next phone I'm getting is gonna have a headphone jack. I don't care how crappy it has to be. It needs to have a headphone jack because I always lose those
Hmm.
stupid converters. It's driving me crazy because I can't use any of my headphones with this. It's really annoying.
Hmm. I mean, I feel like, I mean, do you not have like Bluetooth headphones?
No,
Hmm.
don't. I these monstrous things are so good. Like I love these headphones, and there's no delay because they're not Bluetooth. Because all the Bluetooth devices have a delay. You can't watch Netflix like this. And also, like the quality is just really good. You never have a stutter or a drop. My Bluetooth, I have a fair pair of I do have one pair. I have one pair of running Bluetooth headphones because at wake I normally run alone, and I don't normally like to listen to music, but sometimes I do. Because it just gets kind of boring, like when there. I didn't want to go to the running club because I was like, do I really feel comfortable in the middle of COVID running with like 6 people, even if it's socially distanced? Like, I don't know how much they're following that. Like, I'm not going to try it. You know what I mean? Um, it's one thing I didn't need to be exposed to. But like they drop every once in a while, like they'll stutter and stuff, and the quality's not as good. And I don't know. And plus you got to charge them all the time. You don't ever have to worry about charging your regular headphones. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a boomer too.
I don't know. I was just asking because like I feel like now every time I see like headphones and stuff come out, like they're always Bluetooth because like none of the major phone companies are like giving you headphone jacks anymore.
Yeah.
Even laptops.
Um, I got when I went into that. These are the ones I got right after I graduated high school, and I wanted like the best sound quality I could get for like around $100. And I was looking around, and I found that the Bluetooth ones are always about 20 or 30 bucks more, and more if they were really expensive. But I didn't get really expensive ones. Just because, or like you know what I mean, like the same headphone with a Bluetooth with like a Bluetooth enabled feature was like 20 or 30 bucks more. And I was like, okay, well, my phone has an audio jack at the time it did, and so I'll just get the cheaper version and not have to worry about charging. And that's what I did. And honestly, it was probably the right idea because I really have too many chargers. I can't keep track of them. My phone recently stopped working with its charger, which is really sad because now I have to use this terrible wireless charger that takes like 6 hours to charge the thing. So not very
Oh,
happy. That's kind of an oof.
do you wait? You have your phone has like the fast charging thing, right? I think most Android phones. Yeah.
Yeah. It charges in like an hour with the plug, but the port was not of like good quality or whatever. So it just like
Hmm.
over time it wore out to the degree that it just doesn't work anymore. So I had to buy a wireless charger because one day my phone just like no matter how hard I tried to wrench it in there and wiggle it around and whatnot, wouldn't make contact. So I just gave up and went to Best Buy and got whatever wireless charger they had and came back and put it on top. Another problem is you can't tell if the stupid thing's charging because like if it moves in the middle of the night or something, like it'll get off by a couple of millimeters and it won't charge. That's been like one exact spot. I don't know if you ever used one of those, the
Yeah.
QI wireless chargers. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah.
But, they're like very finicky. So sometimes I'll wake up and I'm like, oh, great, my phone's dead. Because I plugged it in, but it didn't, like its positioning. So
Yeah. I just,
but
yeah. I feel like the thing during the pandemic though is just that like, even if I wake up and my phone's dead, like, I mean, I don't really care because it's like I don't have to go anywhere to class. So I can, if it's dead, I'll just be like, oh, God damn it. And I just plug it in and let it
that's true.
charge. And then it would
Well,
be,
I had most of my classes were still in person. I had like
oh, that's
because
right.
I guess yeah. So Wake Forest did not really shut down. We had more cases than I thought we'd have, but they were very spread out. Like we had a few hundred cases over the course of the semester, but like, no one died. And like it was pretty low rate of like like a few cases a week, right? Just continuously, like maybe a dozen cases a week or so. And so it ended up like we never had in-person classes canceled. Um, in fact, you remember that like hurricane came up through from like Florida or whatever, like in the middle of the semester, and like
I think so.
yeah, you remember that? I don't know. I just remember I woke up and like one day like there were like a bunch of tree branches everywhere. It's like like leaves everywhere, and I had to walk to class. And it was the funniest thing because my philosophy professor is kind of a nut. He like runs a farm. I'm not even joking. Like the guy dead ass just like owns a farm in like Yadkinville and like teaches philosophy. He's kind of weird. He's a cool guy, just a little bit out there, a little bit kooky. And I think he definitely classifies himself as kooky. So I'm saying that. I think if you ask him if he's kooky, he'd be like, yeah, I'm pretty kooky. He's a good guy. Probably one of my favorite professors. But we were sitting there and the power went out like on the way to class. I was like, okay, I guess I'll just like walk there and I'm sure he'll dismiss us or whatever, right? I go in, the door's not working, the lights are off. We can't even get into the room because the room has a chip reader on it. And like power's out. So like even though the room's supposed to be unlocked, the chip reader's just dead, so it won't unlock. And so we're just gathered in the lobby, like trying to socially distance. Like there was a pretty good lobby. And it's pitch black. And this dude just like starts lecturing in like really dark lobby with just like the one little window is light. And like the storm's raging outside. And the dude was like, no, we're having class. I was like, oh my God. I mean, for one, like it's kind of crazy. And for two, what a goat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. At Carolina, I mean, we didn't have in-person classes.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the same thing?
No, it's my phone. Let me just turn it off. Sorry about that.
No, that's cool.
Turn it off.
We
I don't know
we
where it
probably
is
don't
now.
have that much left anyway. I think we're a little over an hour, so
Well,
probably gonna
if I
wrap it
think,
up
oh,
pretty
okay,
soon.
there it is. Oh, that's right. I was using to prop up my computer, so I had a better angle. Hang on. Oh, I know who that is. Okay, I'm just gonna put it on silent because I think it's my girlfriend, and I know she's gonna keep calling me if I pick
Okay,
up.
that's cool. We're a little
Just
over
gonna
an
go to
hour, so
bed.
probably gonna
Yeah,
wrap
yeah,
it
yeah.
up like in a second anyway.
That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like at UNC, like I mean, obviously we didn't have in-person classes this semester. But like when we do have in-person classes, like the campus, like it looks really cool. Like there's like brick pathways that go everywhere and stuff like that. But the thing is like when it rains, like the whole campus will flood and there's just like puddles and stuff everywhere. And like the worst is like when it like rains in the spring, like when it pours,
Mm-hmm.
because like I don't know how the science works, but all the pollen will end up like on the ground or it was already on the ground. And then the rain will like pick it up and spread it out. And then all of a sudden the whole campus is just like yellow. It's like full of like this like yellow liquid everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it's the most disgusting thing ever.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But
I mean, UNC campus is honestly so gorgeous. Like, I just love that. Yeah, I love you guys' campus. It's so nice.
Only on a like a good day.
No, I
It,
mean,
it
like,
depends.
I actually went and visited the old Wake Forest campus over the summer just out of curiosity because I was in Raleigh, and it's really pretty. I don't know. There's something about like age that you just can't replicate because like the current Wake Forest campus was built like in the 1950s, and they've like done it really nicely, and it's all brick and everything, but like it doesn't feel old. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't feel like it's been, you can't feel the history the same way, right?
Still though, that main quad that you guys have like in front of Waite Chapel and stuff, like I feel
Yeah.
like that's like a really like nice looking area.
Oh no, it's top tier. It's gorgeous. It was really very well planned out. I really can't complain about it at all. But like I said, I don't think any sort of design can really give the feeling that, oh, this has been here 200 years. You know what I mean? I think that's a whole
Yeah.
different. And in Chapel Hill's case, 300. Well, when was it?
It was
64 or something, right?
I had
1764.
no idea.
I think it was 1760. Let's remember from my website. Hang on. When was UNC Chapel Hill founded? 1789. Okay, I was off. Yeah, I mean that's pretty old, right? I mean, like I remember
Yeah.
on the campus tour, I remember they showed us that dorm that was like the first dorm in the college or something or whatever. And I don't know, that's just kind of cool, right? I don't know. And
Yeah.
I think that one of the things, and I really like Wake's campus, but one of the things that's lacking is just that feeling of, yeah, this has been here 200 years, and you can tell, right?
Yeah.
I like old stuff. I'm kind of
No.
a fan of vintagey stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I think we can wrap it up for today. Is there anything else
Yeah.
we'll discuss?
No, I think we're good for the outro.
we're
Did
we're
we have
more
an outro? I think we had
what?
an outro last time. We had an outro last time, right?
Oh boy, did we? Let's see.
I think so. If not, we can just make one up.
I I don't remember what our outro was, but yeah. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, and let us know for our two fans out there. Let us know in the comments what you think of the podcast.
Hey, and our 87,000. How many views do we have on TikTok? That's kind of wild.
No, it's just on one post here. I can look it
Okay,
up really quick.
dude,
Actually,
that's
no, it's
that's
gonna take
insane.
too long. It's like 8,500 views on just one of them. The other ones are still getting
Oh,
like
85.
just 100 or 200 views. But
That's more than anything else I've ever put out there.
we've got 41 followers now
Wow.
and 8,000. So this one post has 8,659 views on TikTok.
I mean, that's like somewhat viral-ish. I don't know.
Yeah, not really for
A lot of
TikTok,
people.
but it's
That's
people
not.
who saw it. Yeah,
That's a lot of people, man. 8,000 people's a lot of people.
yeah. I think you have to watch 5 seconds for it to count as a view. So
That's like
yeah, decent number of people watch
a
five
lot of
seconds of it.
minutes.
Yeah,
I don't know how many minutes that is. I can't do the math that fast.
yeah. Anyways,
Minutes.
we
I
should
don't know.
probably just we can probably just finish it here. Thank you
Yeah.
for watching.
So,
If you watched
yeah.
this
Thank you very
one, I
much.
know this one was a bit slower than the other ones, but we'll be back next
I think,
week.
I think we had a good conversation in the beginning there. I think we had some good.
That is true.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next week. And yeah, thanks for talking to us. Or thanks for listening in. All right.
Yeah. See you guys.
Bye bye.